Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. Please join me in the opening prayer. The energy of love is within us and is us. Whole and complete is the I am that we are. We awaken to the truth of our being, and we will this be done within and without. May we come to recognize that we receive all that we give, and that we know we have forgiven ourselves when we forgive others of all grievances held within our mind. May we not be led into temptation by the voice of separation, but instead may we transcend all illusions. For ours is the power, love, and peace of Christ consciousness found within each of us, who is but the perfect extension of the one mind and heart that is shared by all, and that is our birthright as the holy extensions of love itself. Our affirmation of faith. We believe in one God, the author and energy of all life, whose love sustains the universe and all things found within it. Our 5 Christ principles. There is only one energy in the universe. That energy is love, at all times active in everyone, everywhere. 2, we are the divine energy of love, and that energy is found throughout the universe and in all things, whether seen or unseen. 3, we create our experiences by what we choose to think, feel, and believe, thereby establishing our responsibility for our own choices. 4, through opening our heart center, we connect with the energy of love and bring out the Christ within us. And 5, we express our desire to be of service when we live and demonstrate Christ consciousness in all our affairs. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Penny. I'd like to welcome everyone who is here, those who are watching, especially Andrea and Regina. Thank you so much. And to those who will watch later in the week, welcome to the Church of Christ Consciousness. We're here for those who truly are ready to live the truth of their being. Today I want to talk about something that you don't often hear about, is the 2 paradigms. There are 2 paradigms that we can choose between. But I'd like to say up front that when I speak of the 2 paradigms, please understand I'm not saying that one is right or wrong, good or bad. They just are. And as I go through this talk, I think that it'll make sense. The 2 paradigms are service to self and service to others. Let's start with service to self. First, I want you to realize the paradigm service to self had to be in order for us to have this experience. Because we had to survive. And service to self is really about survival mode. And think of our ancestors who had to hunt. They began agriculture. They had to grow their own food. They had to do everything they could on a daily basis just to live that day and maybe for the next. So service to self was really about survival. The problem with service to self is it creates conflict, war, hatred, because service to self promotes separation. It promotes division, which always leads to attack. And then, just a little more than 2,000 years ago, a man showed up on the scene. His name was Yeshua. In English, we call him Jesus. And he came to usher in the new paradigm, service to others. And he told us what service to others meant. For service to others is founded in unity and oneness. It's based upon peace, compassion, and it is based on the collective, where service to self is based upon the individual. But here's the thing that I don't think that most people recognize about service to others. One of the universal laws, the 10th universal law, is the law of love. And the law of love simply states, that which I give another, I gift, but unto myself. So when we are actually serving others, we're actually serving ourselves. It's the highest form of service to self, because it is based on the collective, and we're all a part of the collective. Service to others realizes that what is done to one is done to all. And without getting into what's going on in the world today, in our nation today, we can see the difference between service to self and service to others. Just have to listen, watch. But there's something more profound with it. And that's why I want to discuss it today. Many people, especially those that were raised in Christian fundamental homes, don't understand that we have entered into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of the collective, based on service to others. We all have a choice. We all have a choice that we each personally must make. Do we stay with the old paradigm, service to self, or do we gently move into the new paradigm, service to others? If we choose to stay in the old paradigm, please recognize nothing will have changed. But please hear this. Service to self is founded upon fear. That's why it's survival. Service to others is based and founded upon love, compassion for all. Because service to others is based on the equality of all. Again, where whatever happens to one happens to all. Jesus, whether you believe it or not, but you can go look in your own Bible. When he spoke of the end of time, he was speaking about the end of an age. Jesus ushered in the age of Pisces, the fish. That's why Christians use the fish as a symbol. But on the Thursday, going into Passover, before he was crucified on Friday, he sent 2 disciples into Jerusalem. He told them which gate to go to. And he said, when you get to the gate, there will be a man carrying a water, a pitcher of water. That's the symbol of Aquarius. He was, and the Last Supper was all about the coming of the age of Aquarius. My favorite prayer is at the very end of the Last Supper. It was the last prayer he prayed before he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane later that evening. After he had broke the bread and passed the wine, his last prayer was, Father, may they know that they are one in me, as I am one in you. And may they know that we are all one. Oneness and unity is the foundation of the age of Aquarius. It's the foundation of the collective. It is for our highest good. It is for our ascension. And into the knowing of who and what we are in truth. Instead of warring and fighting with each other, which is what was defined under service to self, under the new paradigm, service to others, we work together for our common good. We were asked to bring heaven to earth. We cannot do it divided. We cannot do it warring with each other. We cannot do it if we are afraid of each other. And we cannot do it if we're distrustful and we have mistrust of each other. But the service to the service to others, paradigm is based upon trust, caring, again, compassion, love, but more importantly, peace. Many years ago, on a Sunday, I had gone to a church service, and the person speaking asked a question of the congregation. We weren't meant to answer it aloud. We were just meant to think about it. So I'm going to ask you the question that man asked so many years ago, and I've never forgotten it. He said to the congregation, he looked out at the sea of people, and he said, first, can you imagine? I was thinking, imagine what? Then he asked the question, can you imagine what we could have done as humans with everything that was wasted just in World War II, and all of the money that was spent, and the over 100 million lives that were lost? If we had taken all of that expenditure and placed it with humanity and for our betterment. Again, I've never forgotten the question that man asked that Sunday. And I often reflect on my answer, and my answer has grown in depth over the years. We could have already reached the stars. Think of the potential of humanity, the things that we are capable of. But instead of creating weapons of destruction, we create things to take us places and into frontiers we've never been. We are so capable, but yet under the old paradigm service to self, we could only reach a pinnacle and then collapse. We would get so high and then civilization would collapse. So my question now to each one of you listening, those who are here, those who are watching right now, and those who will listen later in the week. Do you realize, and I think most of us do because we can feel it, that we're rapidly approaching that moment where we each determine the fate of mankind? Do we stay with the old paradigm, service to self, or do we finally awaken into the new paradigm, service to others, which is really service to ourselves? That is what we've been given charge of. That's what Jesus asked us to do so many millennia ago. The time has come for us each now to make a choice. Do we choose conflict, war, hatred, and fear? Or do we choose love? Love for each other, which is really love for our own self. Fear will take and rob of us everything and give us nothing but misery, grief, and suffering in return. Yet love asks for nothing and gives everything. Love does not demand. Fear does. Love gives. Fear takes until there's nothing left to take. But with love, it's never ending because it's infinite. It is without bounds and it is eternal, just as we are. And it is time for us to rise, to awaken, to resurrect, whatever term that you choose to use, into the Christ that we are. For did Jesus not say, all these things I can do, you can do and more? Well, we haven't lived up to it, have we? But now we have the opportunity. It's time. So I hope each one listening, those of you who are here, those who watch, will make the choice to uplift humanity, not beat it down, to uplift our neighbors, it is time to stop looking down on one another and to lift each other up and to be everything that we were created to be. But we must make the choice. The responsibility falls on us. No one is going to make the choice for us. And please forgive me, especially those who may have never heard this before. No one is going to save us. We must save ourselves by following the teachings and examples that Jesus gave us. He gave us instructions and directions as to what to do. But so many people don't listen. So I invite you, follow his simple instructions and his directions so that we can create a society that is sustainable, livable, compassionate, and is always becoming more because it recognizes the potential in all of God's creation. Let's bring heaven to earth. And we do that by bringing the good that is within us into the world, for heaven is within us. Jesus the Master said that himself. So to bring heaven to earth isn't to bring something that you can't see up there, here. Is to bring what is within us into the external. That is how we bring heaven to earth. That is how we bring Christ into the world. And that is the second coming. So thank you. Before I close, let's take a brief moment. I'm going to ask everyone here and those watching and those who will watch later, place both feet on the floor. Close your eyes. Allow the tension to leave your body. And I'm going to ask that you take 3 deep breaths. And on the inhale, think, I am. And on the exhale, think, the loving creation of God. Again, I am the loving creation of God. Once more, I am the loving creation of God. Sit for a moment in the quiet and feel the new paradigm, service to others. Feel the compassion. Feel the love. Feel the peace. Feel the potential. Feel the possibility. And as we bring our conscious awareness back into this moment, this time, this place, this space, we do so with new thinking, our hearts open, but more importantly, we recognize the love that is within us, the love that is us, the love that is God. Go in peace this week. Have a great week. And I'll see you next Sunday. Thank you.